Internet friends, let's take a look at Audiomodern PLAYBEAT, a random way to generate grooves and rhythms. Click, click, random, click, randomly generating grooves with PLAYBEAT, as you can see, in 3 different dimensions: steps, pitch, and volume. I'll isolate them in a sec to explain why this is so important. As you can see, there are 4 rows. We can insert any sound we like here in these slots above, which drag and drop. Drag out a kick, drag out a hat, and 2 bits of percussion from Matt Zoe, very electro-housey. These will clearly demonstrate the principles here, which I think is most important. Each genre, of course, using different types of sounds. Now, with all selected, randomizing all the layers, the big button does steps, pitch, and volume. But of course, we can randomize each component individually. So for example, here I'm randomizing pitch, but not the steps. And equivalently for these guys. We can also randomize layers individually too. So here we're randomizing layer 3 pitch only. Easy enough. You can also lot layers. In fact, let me show you something else first of all. Reset. Let's say I want the kicks on the beats and the hi-hats on the offbeats. I could then lock this down. So then now if I hit the big random button, it randomizes just layers 3 and 4, the percussion layers. And maybe let's just do the first half. So it's looping over half a bar. Marvelous. Let's add some shuffle, moving the even notes to the right, as you can see on screen now. Every other note to the right. This is the standard way to add swing or shuffle. We can also copy layers, or erase layers, or just keep hitting random. Lovely stuff. Now, these are the upper and lower limits for what gets randomized. So for example, here it gets randomized between G3 and F2, or steps. This is the maximum number of steps, and this the minimum. And equivalently for volume. We can also change the volume for each of the layers, if need be. And there's also this infinity button. Take a look at that. I'll click play and leave it running. So it randomizes every time it loops through. Now, why does this work? This works because there are 3 components to groove: steps, pitch, and volume. And whether you use a plugin like this or do things manually, it's the same idea. These are the 3 things you play with. There's the timing of the notes. That creates one form of rhythm. Whoops, let's turn off infinity mode. And in fact, let's drop a kick so there's something to relate to. This is the most obvious form of groove. The other 2, however, are equally as important, just much less well known. So let's lock the steps. Let's lock everything apart from layer 3 as well. So we randomize just one thing at a time. So let's lock steps and pitch first of all. So we're randomizing just volume. Whereas actually I could have just clicked this, but either way works. Now, see those numbers change here? We're randomizing volume. And let's reduce the shuffle too, so we're playing straight sixteenths, notes on every 16th. All we're changing here is the volume. Notice how there's now rhythm. Playing straight sixteenths, quantized to the grid, and all we're changing is volume. And yet there's rhythm, groove, which we can of course change. In this case, in a perfectly subtle way, based on these higher and lower limits. Let's now look at the other component we haven't yet. Pitch. So we're locking the volume at 100. So playing each note at the same volume, but this time we'll vary pitch. So each note's the same volume, but just at a different pitch. And there's now groove, rhythm. So as you can hear, this is yet another component of groove, another component of rhythm. I find it's the quickest and the easiest way to get rhythms going. Because I mean, whilst yes, sometimes you know exactly what sort of rhythm you want to do, you have a rhythm in your head and you want to tap it out or draw it out. But for me anyway, most of the time, I don't have a rhythm in my head. I just want to try ideas and see what resonates with me. And whilst, yes, I could randomly draw in MIDI notes and randomly change velocities and randomly change pitches to see what I like, that's fundamentally slower than clicking random. With this, I can click random, see if I like it, click random, see if I like it, click random, see if I like it, and move on with the track. Because the real art, the real creativity is the choices you make, the creative judgments you make. And whether you randomly draw velocities yourself or randomly generate velocities and make a decision, well, I mean, it just doesn't make a difference. And so why not do it quicker and more efficiently with a tool that can do it for you, such as PLAYBEAT? Marvelous. PLAYBEAT from Audiomodern. I'll try to include a link below, but if not, just use the Google, type in Audiomodern PLAYBEAT.